It's a retirement community where my mom lives. I stay here and help her from time to time. And lately she's had a couple of surgery procedures, so she needs help. So I live nearby, and I helped her move up here several years ago. And I chose myself to take on the responsibility to help take care of her. I'm the one. So in our family, I'm the guy that's nearby. I'm the guy that gets involved, and she depends on me. And it's been quite an experience over the last 3 years, her living here and seeing her health change and life change, seeing and meeting a lot of people that live here. It's actually quite a beautiful place, and they got a nice setup. It's a very quiet apartment living type of place. They do have independent living, they do have assisted living, they have cottages out in front of the place, but it's pretty nice, I gotta say. You know, she is kind of stuck in her room now because she's not able to get around with some of the surgical procedures she's had. She's having a hard time getting up, a lot of back pain, stuff like that, but she's getting better. She's getting better, so I'm helping her, make sure she gets food, help her up, help her take care of things, and a lot of details. Some of you know what I'm talking about. But what it's made me realize is I see a lot of people here. Over the last 3 years, I've met a lot of folks. Some of them have passed away, but I'm seeing people living longer and longer, and we hear about this. But if you spend much time in a place like this, you begin to really see it. I know men and women that are in their mid-80s, mid-90s, over 100 years old. I know about the ratio they talk about as far as men to women. There's easy 8 to 10 women to every man here, and that's just the way it happens. There's a lot more widows than there are widowers, and that made me realize in the business I'm in, helping people plan for this time is what I've chosen to do in my later career in life, is helping people consider what the risks are in retirement and how to prepare for them, what to do about it. And people don't really consider in their younger years how serious these risks are. There's a number of them. You know, there's the market risk. You know, what's happening economically, what's happening in the markets, what's happening in the bond market, what's happening with inflation, deflation, what's happening with taxation, what's happening with the cost of goods, which isn't a lot of times correlated to what they call inflation, but you and I both know when things cost more money and our dollar is diluted and we have to spend more money to get what we need, in our life, that's inflation, right? So there's a number of other risks, long-term care risks. There's many more, but the biggest and most challenging is going to be kind of a, what would I say? It's a little bit of a controversy, a little bit of a paradox for people, because I see people that are super healthy in their 80s and 90s, and that health benefit, that blessing of that health, that asset, actually becomes their greatest risk. You say, how can your health and vitality be your greatest risk, Jeff? Because what happens if you live too long and you run out of money? What happens? My God, you think about it. How do you find a way to be active and vital and live a long life and make sure you have guaranteed income so you can cover your expenses and live and enjoy your life? And then when things do get bad, how do you make sure your care is covered and taken care of? There's a lot of factors to consider, but longevity is the biggest risk, believe it or not. In fact, it's a risk multiplier, because if you live too long, there's a greater chance you're going to be stuck and hit with a market volatility crisis, a market crash. If you live too long, there's a very good chance you're going to be hit with more and more inflation. If you live too long, there's a very good chance you're going to be hit with things that deal with taxation and illnesses and things that you cannot predict. So longevity becomes a risk multiplier. Anything that can go wrong, the longer we're alive, the better chance there is it's going to happen. And then when the perfect storm occurs and there's no income, how do people survive? Okay, we want to go through life with respect and dignity and have enough money to last our lifetime. Would you agree? So I want to talk to you about longevity risk and how you address it and how you actually can take it off the table. Permanently and forever, take it off the table. Wouldn't that be an exciting thing to learn about? I can share with you how to do it. There's only one place you can do it. CDs can't do it, bank accounts can't do it, bonds can't do it, Wall Street can't do it, mutual funds can't do it. There's only one place you can do it, and I'd like to share with you what that is. If this is something that is a serious subject for you, something that you're mature and serious about wanting to have a conversation about, this is what I do. My goal is to serve you in such a way that you have your best outcome possible. and it will only be to guide you with the greatest resources, and I've discovered those over the last several years. It's not about me, it's about what I've discovered and what I can share with you and point you to help you in your planning, your strategy, and how to take longevity risk off the table forever and ever so you can live your best life. All right, I'll talk to you later. Look forward to hearing from you. Bye for now.